Welcome back, tuning into today's video. We're doing an extended look ahead today. We've had updates from the Korean model, the South Korean model, I should say. Don't worry, it's not the North Korean model. And we're going to be looking at both the month to come through April. We're also going to be looking at the 3 monthly forecast, which will be taking us through to June. So a big update today. Hope you enjoy it. Now, before I get on with the video, I just want to talk about the advertising-based video ads on my pages at GazWorkVids.com. If you press play on the video ad, you'll be supporting GazWorkVids.com, and thanks very much for doing that. Also got the content ads, which are links to articles. If any of those articles are interesting to you, click through the link. You'll be able to go and read the article, at the same time be supporting GazWorkVids.com. Thanks very much for doing this. It does make a big difference to the website. Helps to pay for the website, to pay for me to sit here and talk to you via the website. So thanks very much for getting involved and doing that. Now, if we get on with the extended update, just want to talk about the fog. We've had a very foggy morning across much of England and Wales this morning. This is the visibility forecast from the high-resolution Euro 4 model at website Weather Online. You can find a link to Weather Online on my links page. This has replaced the high-resolution NAE model. It's a UK Met Office product. It's Euro 4, the replacement for NAE. As I say, the red areas here are where we've got the fog. Been a very foggy morning across much of the country, but that fog is going to go quite quickly now, thinning out and lifting into low cloud, and then eventually breaking up this afternoon to reveal some pretty good sunshine. However, tonight it's going to come back again. We see it here reforming across much of, well, particularly southeastern England tonight. I don't think it'll be quite spread across Wales, northern England, the North Midlands, but really through central southern England in towards the East Midlands, East Anglia, Lincolnshire, southeastern England. That's where we've got the worst of the fog reforming tonight. Some very dense patches once again. So if you're in that area, if you're in that area and you're off out and about early tomorrow morning, do take care, because it's going to be a very foggy scene again in the southeast through the course of tomorrow. That should be the last foggy morning for some time, because over the weekend we're going to pick up slightly fresher, stronger northwesterly wind, and that should stir things up quite a bit. Now, as I say, I've had an update from the Korean model, a big update, because we've got both the month ahead forecast, which takes us through April. We've also got the 3 monthly forecast taking us through April, May and June. We'll have a look at the 3 monthly in a moment. Let's deal with the monthly forecast first of all. This is sea level pressure anomaly. It's broken down into 10-day periods, this month ahead forecast. So this is for early April, presumably taking us from the 1st to the 10th of April. We're in the red colours here across the country. So for the first sort of start of April, first week, 10 days, something like that, it's seeing high pressure really quite dominant through the start of April. That extends down into Europe. It also extends through the Atlantic as well. So quite an extensive area of high pressure there across the country. The jet stream going to the north, that high pressure, perhaps just needling Scotland, so it could be a little bit more unsettled for Scotland perhaps, but really that's quite a settled scenario for the start of April. Very pleasant. But look what happens as we go through to the middle of April. This presumably takes us from the 10th to say the 20th. Then we find the high pressure collapsing, shifting off to the west. We've got a little bit in the Atlantic there. But the main thing is that this trough of low pressure is forming across the country. The jet stream going around that trough, so we're more or less on the cold side of the jet there. Could be bringing in quite a chilly northwesterly, maybe even northerly sort of wind. It's unsettled, particularly from the north and the east of the country, but all parts would be a lot more unsettled through the middle of April compared to that first part of April. And it could also be quite chilly, so you could get some night frosty back, maybe even some wintry showers over higher ground in the north. Let's see what it's showing for the last part of April. This is late April, so again, presumably it takes us from the 20th to the 30th, something like that. And of course, that's the Easter period. And we've still got the blue colours here, so we've still got low pressure, below average sea level pressure there across the country. It's shifted its orientation a little bit, so the jet stream is going something like that. So we're more or less bringing the jet stream back across the country, so it's a little bit milder. I think the winds are going back into the southwest with that. Nevertheless, it's still very unsettled, and there'll be outbreaks of rain quite frequently with heavy sort of April showers as well. So after that pretty anticyclonic and dry, pleasant start to April, the South Korean model is seeing a rapid deterioration as we go through April, with much more unsettled conditions setting in. Possibly quite chilly through the middle of the month, possibly seeing a warm up later in the month, but still unsettled. It's just that the winds shift from the northwest, perhaps in the middle of the month, to the southwest later in the month. So let's have a look at the 3 monthly forecast. This is the anomaly for April, first of all, that the Korean model is seeing, and you'll not be surprised from that breakdown of the 10-day periods that it's seeing an unsettled month. Got blue colours there across the country, got high pressure out in the Atlantic. So seeing a trough of low pressure as an anomaly through April across the country. Always more unsettled probably in the north, less unsettled in the south. Although, to be honest, I would expect all parts to be pretty wet from the middle of the month onwards. It's just that the high pressure patch is stronger in the south through that first part of the month. But an unsettled April as an anomaly being seen by the Korean model. Now, as we go through to May, this is quite a nice anomaly, because what happens in May, if the model is right, is that we shift the high pressure out, shift the low pressure out to the west and the northwest. We set up this high pressure up over Scandinavia. That's quite a nice looking feature, and between the two, we're probably bringing up quite warm southerly or southeasterly winds. We've got high pressure to the west, got the high pressure to the east, we've got the low pressure to the west. So yeah, I think we're setting up quite a mild southerly southeasterly flow. It could be a very pleasant month, that, although maybe risk of some thunderstorms at times coming up from the south, and of course we'd have easterly winds at times affecting the east coast, bringing a lot of low cloud and claggy weather down there. But overall, that's a pretty nice anomaly for May. I think we would suspect quite a warmish sort of month, and not particularly wet from that either. But as we go through to June, just look what happens as we get to June. All of the northern blocking sets up over green. We've got a lot of red there up over green. That's high pressure. Never a good signal for summer, because underneath it you get this trough of low pressure. That's a very bad anomaly for June. That would be unsettled, it would be cool, it would be wet, a strong trough of low pressure out in the Atlantic feeding in lots of weather systems, no doubt, with the northern blocking, we'd be on the cold side of the jet as well. That's a pretty grim anomaly for June, so not very good from the Korean model for June, but May does look quite nice. That's quite a decent looking anomaly that we see for May. And of course, June is right at the extended range of this extended model, so it's not to be relied upon anyway. In fact, none of this is to be relied upon, because seasonal long-range forecasting, long-range models are all very experimental, so you can't take it particularly seriously. It's just the charts are there, so might as well have a look and see what they're showing. It's for fun and enjoyment purposes. So for April, it's seeing quite a nice start to April, then it all goes downhill, becomes quite cool and unsettled through the middle of the month, stays very unsettled later in the month, but perhaps warms up a bit with the winds go back into the southwest. May looking quite nice, I have to say. That anomaly for May, if that comes off, it's decent. Low pressure's out west, high pressure's up over Scandinavia. We would have a pretty nice month with that, with southerly, southeasterly influences. But for June, very grim anomaly, that one. You wouldn't want to see that going on into the rest of the summer. It would be a very cool and unsettled summer if that happened, but a very grim anomaly there for June. That's it for now. I hope you found the video interesting or very speculative, but it's for fun and enjoyment purposes only. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.